This is where everyone can, you know, just let go a sigh of relief. You've really earned yourself a fair amount of points so far, just off of placement points alone. Now is the Fortnite endgame. What can you do here? For Crypt and Cold, they're going to set up for the high ground hold. That's a very, very bold move here, as again, it is so early. This is just the first full moving zone that's been revealed here. Pose, Felix, and Sparebow are alive. Keep an eye out on these guys. They do very, very well on their custom unique settings like these when they were just the best in, again, simulated situations round after round. So again, a couple teams I'm looking out for is definitely Pose, Felix, and Sparebow, and now this high ground team of Crypt and Cold, but they're getting landed on.
They've been playing out of their mind throughout the entire kind of the FNCS2, but they are indeed, that is Magnolia's team who's been consistently making their mark in this team, going for high ground, and they have managed to claim it. They have pushed off Crypt, Elite, and Cold as well, down to second height now. We're gonna have to see if the retake comes back from them, but so far, Magnolia's team has been playing this incredibly smart, and they are situated with so many materials too on that top. In the bottom right, you've got Dubs, Mega, and Rocane with tons of materials still left, but back up to Magnolia. Such a good position, but they are getting pressured from down below.
And this is rough right now. This is another surge warning about to go off. Luckily for the high ground team, there's nothing for them to worry about, but they are so off in the air here. They're gonna have to be careful to go ahead and rebase up. And there it is. The lightning bolts are officially active. 13 players have to go down now. One of our teams there was Sprite, Gabe, and Tahi. They get basically clipped off from the backside of zone, and they were below the surge. So is Mega, Rocane, and Dubs now. They were doing so well in lead up, but the problem was going ahead and catching up to them. But now, again, it seems like things have kind of settled themselves out. Mega's going to get pinched from multiple angles here. Great shots, but not enough to clutch up. For Rocane, though, he's going to break into top 10. This is very, very important for him to continue to stay alive here and steal away these points now.
This could be a big solo clutch for him. If he had some med kits, he could almost definitely make this a top 3 situation. Still with his 63 builds remaining, he has. But every single ounce of that he's going to have to use is going to be important. He drops down the layer, gets onto such a good spot away from the players remaining behind him. But dropping down into the water is a dangerous part because there is sharks in this area, and he knows that. So he elevates himself, gets back up, and has to try anything he can to stay away from the players who are around here, but still not get focused while using that wood, because that is going to catch eyes from other players.
And listen, we must be watching history right now. This zone is pulled so far west, it is completely off the water. It left land such a long time ago. It is continuing to pull at this point. 10 more seconds until the next max rotate. But Rocane is still going here, managing to stay alive. A player slips behind him. He barely catches him in the peripheral, swings back around. Colazo goes down. Here comes the follow-up. Can he get the tag? Yes, it's a body tag. It's not his floor. He breaks through. He's still fighting. So close, yet so far was that next siphon there on high ground. No, it is free pass to the end game right now, as Magnolia and the rest of his team are sitting comfortable up here. 3 elims, part of which was a part of Bucky, Macwood, and their trio. Remember, caught clicks there just a little bit ago too. So just big points here turning around, and they have the heal condition. Look at this. They're setting up for the heal off. There's no way they lose this one now, Reese.
They have the slurp cannon, they have the medkits,
everything.
They have the floppers. You can see them all being displayed up on high ground here because they're all going to go to one player who is going to play heal off.
He left it.
They've left him in the storm. Is that floppers still in the storm? That could be a choke, but look who's down below. The TNA2, the OCE boys are still up in this, down on low ground 2. As right there, that's another one. Elimination down onto post. Sparebow goes down into the storm 2. Felix still up. There's Chaos down on the low ground. As we see the top teams of Magnolia's team start to drop down, they start to apply that pressure, but no builds left remaining on Duran right here. He's going to have to try and do something to pressure the teams down below.
And not only that, they throw away that win condition here, but that's the sign of pressure in the end game. You have to have a full strategy mapped out and planned out. K2G is going to jump on down and finish things up with a quick one onto TNA Speedy, who makes an end game, showing up for his... Yeah, definitely. I mean, Who Fishy went first. Aspect touches down. They're going to go for the fight for high ground right now. Kaz is on the side here. He gets bested by KJ. Seems like he was just a little bit quicker, but Aspect commits a lot of material there before realizing the call comes out. Give it up. It's not worth it. They've already expended so much. This game's not over for them. Not just yet. They'll come back for that play a little bit later, but Aspect, you can see, sneaking behind right now. He is not happy with that because he did have the lead there. He had a true fighter's chance, but he's going to have to follow the trio here, follow the decision to give it up, and now play out for this end game. For every team that falls now, though, there are points that are going to be given out, guys. This is a very, very crucial time to stay alive here and out-survive your opponent.
It is, and Bucky, Creo, and Clicks managed to go back through their old tarp, trying to hit anyone off who's diagonally above them. And Bucky may be able to pick up one elimination, but unfortunately, no, the player manages to get it away from him on the box. And this old tarp that they have provides so many angles for them to pick up refreshes from if they need them. Right now, not a top priority. Staying in the game is the biggest priority, especially to see Creo almost capped on hard materials and soft materials as well. So he's going to be able to just completely get himself ahead, almost into the 7th zone now, whilst he lets the two hound dogs at the back, Bucky and Clicks, go for those refreshes, keep him capped. This is a top 3 game I can see from Creo, Bucky, and Clicks. They are set up so well, but there is a team in the back of the tarp.
Yeah, the risk though, Creo is looking up, so they're probably looking to take a victory royale right now, trying to see what kind of win conditions are available to them. Aspect's gonna fall to Divine. Divine is still continuing his rampage here in this endgame. Trap, KJ, and Neon jumping their way back up, clawing their way back into the competition here for game number 2 at 5 eliminations and an endgame of a top 10 in front of them. Who Fishy unfortunately is going to go down. That's a full team wipe for them, and they are no longer in the running here. Back to the lobby, players are being sent here, and you have to be happy if you've made it this far. But man, the struggle that's happening here in the low ground. There it is. Someone finally shuts down Divine. Narwhal falls too for being on the outer edge, and it's up to the last one. That's Slem there inside the zone here, possibly against Zucky. Who's going to hit the shot here? He's waiting for it. He does, and he's on top now. These are crucial points, not only for, of course, getting the elim, but it's the placement that you earn as well. That's a team wipe right there. Big exchanges.
And he's up to 360 wood from that too. Another team goes down, so yeah, again, more placement now as you reach top 6. Still with the medkit, trying to pop that this time, and the bandit cannon, but he's getting pressured from the teams down below. He's cracked down to 6 HP. He's, like I said, has the storm cannon, so gets the tag off. However, he is almost definitely not going to be able to get that medkit off, but no, he is picked up. 5 teams now remain, and so many are situated on low ground. Clicks, Creo, and Bucky in a commanding position, but yet again, another elimination for them.
Very significant right now. They're in top here. Well played and well done. Clicks eating a lot of stormline here though, just to look for a new angle. Has to be careful. And now the siphon comes through. Beautifully done for him. He's gonna go ahead and top himself right back off. This chug cannon coming into big play here in the end game. Remember, it is even more important to have that to really seal the deal for a victory royale if you're trying to play these zone plays. But high ground is just literally vibing out here. They still have enough material and resource to hold out too. That's Trap and Crew. They get brought down. Clicks is trying to go ahead and do something big. That's one they box up. Here comes the side sweep. They have the zone in front of them too, and that's another elimination for them. They are jumping their way right back into the standing here.
And that was one of the TNA boys who have actually gone down as well. Speedy down on the low ground. As you see, Charlo, Spegu, and completely boxed up on the low. So they've played low. Clicks, Creo, and Bucky are in mid-ground layer. The worst place you want to be in a 3v3.
Nice.
But no, he managed to pick up elimination onto one of the players on high ground. A second elimination goes down too. So that's 2 full finishes now. So there's a single solo player left alive on high ground. As you know, Spegu's trio is completely situated on the low ground. As Charlie is also now picked up. Bucky goes down on the low. Spegu is playing the heal off. As you see, Creo with the chug cannon up on height, but he is picked up, and it'll be D-Roller, Charlie, and Spegu who pick up the victory royale in game number 2. It will, and for guys like Illis, Tragic, and Macwood, who are way further down on the leaderboard on 27, they're going to need all the opportunities they can to close that gap, realistically. They did a great job of getting tons of loot completely stacked up. If you saw Macwood's inventory, 2 gold items, the pistol and the sniper in there, with tons of launch pads, tons of heals at the same time. So despite the fact being contested, having a really long off spawn fight, they managed to get that refresh, managed to keep themselves going. Now they're into the end game. This is where the chaos starts. This is where all the things start to get difficult, right? You're going to see a little less teams be eliminated during this first movement, but as the zones start to pick up, more and more teams will be eliminated as the games go on. And the teams who make it to that end point, the teams that have so far, like Narwhal's team, who unfortunately didn't this game, and the TNA boys, D-Roller's team, who managed to win that last game, will be climbing up this leaderboard.
The veterans, Casker, Smack, Niddle having a hard time in their rotate. They get pressured out here. And now the lobby goes to the skies here. Everyone on the move now. If you're in the backside, I mean, hopefully you can break some line of sights here soon, because everyone's going to start looking to set up in position for Macwood and Tragics. They can see the ground rotate's going to pay out. That's the issue with everyone taking to the skies here. You know, there's no one situated. There's no one based up. So the ground team that didn't have the fortunate launch pad is going to be the one that takes advantage of that. And now it's their high ground to hold here. This is their chance to really get into this game here, get back into this tournament, and have a true fighting chance to close out and qualify for this week here. We haven't seen a contested team punch their way to finals just yet.
That's true, and this could be the one. If this is a victory royale, that's going to move them up big time as they have that height hold going into 6th. Notice they've already claimed an even higher layer at the front of the zone, as that next zone will pull far for them too. So it's going to be a little bit tough, right? A lot of the players are going to be launch padding at this point because all those secondary pads are going to come out. Actually, I take the back. The zone is actually moving back, so they're in a very good spot. Instead, you see Tragics all the way up on ultimate high ground, able to apply that pressure down below to ensure no one pads up onto height. The TNA boys still alive right at the bottom of your screen as well. In the bottom right, you see Creo's team alongside Bucky and Clicks. Bottom left, Rokane, Dubs, Mega, and again on the top screen you see Macwood, Tragic, and Illest. All of the top boys are still in it.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I want to talk about that TNA team is that they are doing the low ground dead side rotate, taking a page out of Scented, Edgy, and Commandment's book. That is the way you want to play this here. It makes sense as to why they are making all these ending games here and just sneaking under the radar, guys. But on screen, high ground looking dominant right now. Macwood putting that 400 light ammunition to use here. This gun is deadly accurate. It has big damage as well. It's not to be slept on. And most importantly, he could spam it away here because he's not competing with the ammunition with the rest of his trio here. He's got everything in his power to continue the push here. And not only that, he's got all the material here. Look at this. This is just Macwood's count. Macwood alone can make it to end game. You counter in and factor in his team's material, they have high ground for the rest of this game as long as no one pads up on them.
Yep, they're in a good spot, still in a good spot. At this point, players probably will not launch pad onto high ground because they'll have used them already, so hopefully they continue that true. But back over the TNA boys, they have lost Muzz, Speedy, and Looter still left in this, but Looter with 0 builds. They're currently in first, but the big shots come out on the opponents, but no, he's traded back right in return. He's going through his old builds, trying to do whatever he can to stay in this, as Speedy puts up that pressure, the aggressive play on, but this is good. The zone is pulling back through these old materials, hiding behind the cold, the big 138 shot, and it's onto Rokane as well, but Mega and Dubs are still there behind them, so he hopefully will be able to stay in this long enough to get that finish and get those 2 points.
And look at the pressure right now to clutch up here by himself here. His teammate is down. He's inside top 8. All you have to do is stay alive at this point. There goes the full finish. Those are big points, guys. Those are huge points, and the siphon gives him enough of the health to swing around the backside. He's gonna sneak up on another. The aim down sight shot is so much damage there. He couldn't get the finish. It's on to Creo. Big exchange there, as now Creo is left in the dust. That's gonna cut down things for Clicks here. Clicks has to figure things out with Bucky. There's Elite X7 in the middle alongside Cold and Crypt. That's a trio down low, a dangerous trio. Tragics, Illis, and Macwood swinging things around. We talked about their material count. We knew they were going to make it all the way to end game, and now they are here, and they have all the HP. They can jump down and start to finish things up. Dubs is going to get taken out. That's one down. Bucky in the low ground loses the exchange there. It was deadly, and now it's Crypt. Oh no, Clicks is down too. We're looking at a 2v2 situation.
I know, Tragic's team still fully onto high ground. The low ground team of Crypt still with barely any HP. But you can see Cole going for the med kit play in the back of the storm as well. Also using the chug jug to try and make sure they manage to keep up so full. But Tragic's is going to drop down looking for those eliminations. And yes, he gets it with a big shot. Tragic's, Illist, and Macwood are going to pick up the victory royale in game number 3.
Contested as well off the drop here. They win that. Trying to look for another angle. This is not the dominant angle. I was going to say you really do risk getting tagged, and he does immediately just for the opening there. But they have to cross all the way to... They have to go all the way to the other side. Mega Dubs and Rokane have the first moving here. This is the perfect spot to be in. He's going to elevate himself so he's off the launch pad presence. And look at this. 2 single solo towers, right? They're not giving any landing position for teams launch padding in to actually contest them right now.
Veteran teams have said it over and over again. Mega, Dubs, Rokane making a fantastic play to ensure that they keep the height. Mega all the way at the back, and look at how high Dibs is at the front. So high, so solidified, so much more difficult for any players to land on them. But players are still going for it. You can see Dubs trying to actually build fight up still at some player, but no, they've managed to get themselves up onto height. They have moved it for that first one, but they've been chopped. They've been chopped.
Oh no.
Dubs goes down, but Mega manages to catch himself, and Rokane seems to be okay as well.
And Spade starts to crank up here. Mega goes back. He goes back to pick up Dubs, and he actually grabs him. And not many people know that you can actually take a body and fly with it, and he gets in the box. It's going to be one of the most interesting saves I think we've ever seen. Definitely the coolest by far, even if you don't walk away with it. You know what, Mega, that is the kind of teammate we want and you would love to see on your team. What a play there.
Mega, I will play with you anytime. Thank you very much.
Man.
What a teammate. But back on the low ground, Bucky, Clicks, and Creo in such a good spot. This is the familiar situation we've seen them in every single end game that they get to. Low to mid ground layer. Good mats. Great positioning from Creo, trying to understand the tarps, the positioning it needs to be in for almost every single zone, just leaving Bucky and Clicks at the back to try and get any elims. The spacing that they are in right now is so good. It's a dodgy rotate, so they're staying close in case anything happens. Any edits come out, and exactly that's why as Felix drops in the box and Bucky picks up the elimination.
And Bucky saw him too. He was baiting that one in, and Felix took the trap, and just like that, fresh to get the points there, and Felix falls just outside of the top 10 there, and this is where the big points are going to start coming in. And remember, Bucky, Clicks, and Creo have managed to jump their way all the way back up to second place when this kicked off. They had a second and third place finish. Now they officially solidify themselves inside another top 10 game here, and look at their points. 112 now. Definitely starting to jump their way up to lead, but one goes down. Can Clicks clutch this up? We already know he has the outstanding record here of 1v2s, and of course waits for the door to open up. That's Loopy, and he's gonna fall there. Clicks is by himself now, takes fall damage. He's trying to change layers here. Where's his teammate? Bucky has to be found in the chaos here, and it's just all or nothing now for Clicks. I think he realizes, I gotta play for myself here.
He's playing for himself, but doing anything he can to pop the med kit that's here to try and keep himself in. Bucky was still in that as a solo left alive too. Sig's lucky on low ground, managing to completely claim that, so it's a good game for them as, again, Clicks is gonna go for that med kit play, but doesn't unfortunately gets it. He gets the knock. Another big shot comes off and decides not to run into the box. He's down to builds, only 2 left remaining. Goes inside the cone, does what he can, but no, he is also picked up.
Top 6 though, not bad at all for Slim on the other side here. He's still trying to clutch up as well. 106 mats there. There it is. He's going to start running out now. That box there. He can only make one more full box, and that is it. So here comes the fight. Down goes Slick. Beautifully done for him. And Slick has some goodies to take on the road here. Tactical shotgun. This is very important, guys, because that will allow him to take on multiple players here in the end game. Down goes Lem. He jumps into another box. He's shooting. It's not going to be enough, though. He gets taken out on the low ground by Nounsy and Sizz Lucky. They make another end game. And where in the world did Spade, Shifu, and Dusky come from? Because they are now at 10 elims, rocketing their way up the standings here.
They came from 23rd in the leaderboard, now flying up, but on the low ground, the exact same thing. Furious, Nounsy, Sizz Lucky, 12 eliminations to their name. It seems like 2 teams have picked up every single elimination so far, it would like, but it's a 3v3 situation. Low ground versus high ground. Furious is in, but the players drop down into the box. One is knocked. Nounsy goes down. It's now a 2v2 situation. Furious trying to play the cabbages.
Oh my
and
gosh.
the big 189, the max damage pump comes onto Shifu. It's a single player remaining, but there's a slurp cannon in the bomb of the storm. But Dusky has so much HP on the high ground. He pops the launch pad to try and get down onto the player below, but it's Furious who has the cabbages, who also has the slurp cannon, and also has the victory royale alongside Nounsy and Sizz Lucky. But they're just not fussed, right? A lot of teams don't really care about claiming that high ground, but Clicks actually has managed to find a bunch of loot, but no, he's also found a shot in the face by another team there, but he wants those big pots. He wants the materials, but no, he's a bit too greedy. It's down to 21 HP, but I think he's going to get back. The other teams aren't going to be pressuring, but now the zone is pressuring it instead of those teams. He's going to have to find a spot to launch pad where he does not take any storm ticks, and it's difficult because he's there getting pressured from the entire lobby. Clicks, we know he has a launch pad because he was the one who grabbed it from before, but he's pressuring those teams in the back, and he's managed to actually pick up the full elimination, getting him the siphon, relieving that pressure, and it seems like they're going to fully tarp in this first moving instead of using the launch pad.
Listen, this is a classic Clicks play, okay? He does things that will murder any other, like, any regular player gets taken out. But he is so quick with the edit. Yeah, he is so fast with his edits. He can just do things like that, all right, guys? So, you know, don't follow in his lead unless you're exceptionally quick like him, because, you know, most regular players would have been taken out, but he knows, hey, you know what? You know, before you even react, I'm out of there, right? He grabbed the loot, he got in and out, and it just works out. So that's just Clicks things there, guys. 2 elims already, end game in front of them. Big placement points coming through because they break into top 17, and now things are going to get real interesting for them as they're breaking away with the lead. Another elim on their layer falls into their lap, and they manage to pick that up and get all the mats there. That's on to Charlie, guys. So his full trio is now down and out of this game. Again, that was a team fighting for that top 3 spot. So competition fallen is perfect for them because this gives them the opportunity to break the lead and continue to get in front of everyone else.
is fallen, but they are below the Storm Surge by 3 points. We saw it being active and tagging them, which is the last thing you want at that moment. But Speedy is up in that bottom right as well. They're above the threshold. As in the bottom left, you also see Clix has now gotten above, so the full trio of Clix is still in this, whereas Speedy along with Muzz is left alive on low ground as a duo. 2 builds left to their name. They must try to get to top new, but no, Muzz goes down, leaving Speedy as a solo in the bottom right as well, just down to white HP in the back of the Storm, trying to fight a whole trio, but no, Speedy is also picked up.
And there it is. He falls just inside the top 13 there. Not bad at all. Another consistent end game for them. Shorter than what they expected or wanted. But on the other side, Narwhal and Zlem here at 6 eliminations, alive and healthy. Still have some material. This elevation is so interesting, though. It's jumping off the edge of the zone, but at the same time, it's got like this little bit of a steep curve there, too. And you can see it's fighting against Zlem now as they have to eat into the zone here. He gets cut off by opponent. The quick reaction wasn't fast enough, though. And Narwhal's left by himself. He doubles back into the storm line. Tactical shotgun. Can he get the siphon in time? He does. Barely any. The sniper shot too. And Narwhal is going to clutch up here. The huge sniper shot. Not enough in the chug cannon. What a play. Back-to-back games now, we have seen ridiculous clutches almost unfold. First, it was the mega save. Now, the crazy sniper shot here. This is Fortnite at its finest. You just never know what you're going to get.
That was one of the most insane shots I've ever seen, but unfortunately, he will not get the finish from that. But moving back to Rokane, who's currently poking off 2 eliminations, picking up Slick as well. 6 to the name. He is a solo left behind. Make that another knock, but no, it's Shark gets in his box and picks him up, unfortunately.
That's a back and forth there. More trades. Clix is still alive here. Solo in the low ground. What can he do? We've already seen so much exceptional play. Unfortunately, it's nothing that he can do there. He gets chipped off the edge on high ground. It's Cost. It's Ruby. It's crazy GGs right now. They're at a whopping 5 elims, and they're trying to take home this dub right now. Zone's going to double back. I'm so interested, though, in where Sparebow and Felix are going to end up. That's another team that has just been outside the top 10 all day long. But these guys are clutch factors right now. Beef and Loopy and Zucky also inside that top 10. Now breaking into top 5. They're still pushing here. This is another team jumping up. Reese, we will have a game 6 with tons, and I mean tons of teams to keep an eye out on now, because so many have fallen inside the top 5, and these players clutching up placement points now is really throwing us up to the top of the leaderboards.
It is, and Beef has just been picked up. He was in 7th, like you mentioned. That could be a top 3, even higher potential in the leaderboard. Felix is already also in contention. He's picked up another elimination and the victory royale at the same time. Just out of nowhere, there were so many players in the back of Storm there.
Which means there is more and more animosity being built up inside this lobby here. There it is. There's another finish onto the Epic Specs there. Onto the TNA boys, the trio there that was just inside, hanging on to the top 3. You know, if Rokane, Mega, and Dubs aren't getting active right now, then they're falling behind for sure. Look, they only have a single elim now.
They are, and look at the points. Most importantly, they're on 143. I think they're in 3rd. I don't think any other team has managed to overtake with more eliminations than them. We saw Creo's team was on 159, and I think Narwhal's team was on 155. So our leaders currently still are Creo, Bucky, and Clix, but it's so close. We don't know what the TNA boys are at. We don't know what D-Roller's team at. Felix's team. All of these teams are still in it till the end, and I swear we're gonna miss potentially something with how many potential pop-offs there are and what the points are.
Beef gets knocked, though. Remember, Beef, Lupian, they were up there, down to play a fight. It's not a full finish, not yet. Magnolia gets the finish there. That is one man down from the equation of Zucky and company. So now it's up to Zucky and Lupian to play this end game out. Mega Dubs and Rokane sitting right above Speggle, D-Roller, and Charlie. In comes the fight. It might just go down. It's all about controlling the pieces here as they start to lead out. One mistake and it is all over now.
It is. I want to know where the rest of the teams are too. We see Divine flying on the way into both teams, trying to claim that low ground. Plague up on high ground, and unfortunately not in contention for a qualified slot. Felix
TNA
using the
Clix.
launch pad there. It is as well. And you see Mega's team going up against Charlie and Spegu's team as well, right next to each other. Both claimed the low ground front as much as possible, as we're about to see where that next zone pulls. It pulls almost exactly back, and for Rokane, Mega, and Dubs, who are a low ground team, they're gonna have to start going back through old builds, but hopefully their old builds, not other old builds. Let's go. Looter has been picked up. Speedy has also been picked up. Now Muzz below the threshold, 19 HP to his name, trying to heal out through the moving storms, and I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, he recognized it wasn't going to be enough right there. You saw he tried to take the mini. The math wasn't good enough, and TNA gets wiped up and crossed out of the competition. They will not be going to the finals. Not this week. They will have to fight their way through the semis. Rokane, Mega, Dub still alive right now. Only a single Elin, but somehow so far ahead of the surge here. Zucky's going to find Slick, so they're still in the running here. And I know Felix is still alive there, but no. As I mentioned it, Felix goes down. Clicks goes down to Dubs. Dubs finds Clicks. Lupian falls too. That's another team crossed out of our top 7 there. Dubs, Mega, and Rokane are dropping some of the best in the lobby, but they're here. Bucky, Creo, and Click still holding on to their #1 spot.
They are as a duo left remaining. No builds. Well, one single build on Bucky. They're going to have to try and make a play again. The big 17 shot comes out through the SMG, the wall replace with a single build that he has remaining. And the shot to the back of the player, but there's 2 in the box. The 41 tags comes out. He gets trade shot, but can't manage to finish. But no, Bucky's picked up. Creo is picked up as well. I didn't see the points they were on, but there's still teams in this that could win it for them.
They got taken out before they can actually get the finish as well. That's 2 left on the table, guys. Just at 168 here. Mega, Dubs, and Rokane have a little bit more room if they want to fight for first, and they're looking to do just that. Here comes a sneaky way through the low ground here. They're just snaking, riding their way in. D-Roller, Charlie, and Speggle, 149 points. Divine, Narwhal, and Slam are at 168. So Mega, Dubs, and Rokane are holding on to 3rd spot right now. Do they have the iron grip, though? D-Roller finds another one. He finds a full trio wipe. So does Charlie. They're at 8 eliminations, fully pressed in the zone here, trying to stay alive. Into the box, a 100 tag. The better movement. He sneaks away, but I don't know if he got enough placement points there. 156 to fall. Here's the heels. They are playing to their hardest right now to stay alive, and the mountaintops are making it even more difficult here.
I don't think that's going to be enough for them to come through, but Mega and Rokane are almost in that slot. They have to get over 169. I'm pretty sure that's what Creo, Bucky, and Clicks were on before they went out. So to be able to pick it up, they need a couple more placement points. They're still alive as a full trio in, and I think they're the only team remaining who is actually possible to win the entire tournament. Not sure who is in the 2nd or 3rd. Yes, they're up to 170 points. They're now playing for the win of the entire tournament as they go down. Claim that low ground. The players down below, another elimination comes through for Rokane down there.
Here it is.
Now, all they need to do is spray out the high ground. If they can manage to do this, they're going to knock every single player down from above, pick up the victory royale at the same time, but Mega has to reload. The tree is in the way. The players start to fall down. That's KNG down below. There's still 6 players up on the high ground who are getting traded out and out and out as the pressure comes from Mega and Rokane up to the builds up above, and this has to be a win for them.
They already know it. They know it. They can see it in their sight lines here. Mega's just looking up, but no, the clock is ticking. Does Plague have enough HP? Mega had just a little bit more. He's going to survive the clock, but no, Magnolia with the additional here as the Siphon comes in. And
prior to that last game, and we said they could do it, and that's exactly what they've done. And not just done it, they've gone all the way to the top of the leaderboard, 178 points there as well. But D-Roller, Spegu, Charlie, you know, big shout out to those guys. Even Beef, Lupian, and Zucky Fisher, we haven't talked about too much today, but it's also coming in a joint 4th position there alongside D-Roller's trio. I want to highlight as well, we talked about storylines earlier on today as well with regards to some of our teams that needed to get a certain amount of points